about this amazing, or this really, kind of pivotal topic that a lot of people, it involves so many people in their daily lives. So as you are joining us, please understand that this next conversation, we would love to include you. So please make sure that if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them into the group chat that's on the right-hand side of your screen. My colleague, a couple of my team members from PowerToFly, including Arushi and myself, will be in the chat to monitor and pull those questions out to give to our next speakers. But we'll also be there in case you have any technical issues that you need some help with. We're also sharing a code of conduct briefly in the thread. That's going to be an important thing to take a look at, just in case, before you comment and stuff. Just make sure that you're leading with kindness and respect for everyone, and everybody will have a great time. So I'm really excited to introduce our next speakers. First up, we have Limor Bergman Gross. Limor is an amazing addition to the PowerToFly family. She's actually been with us for about 1.5 years now, I think. She is the director of mentorship for PowerToFly. She also volunteers with Plato, where she mentors managers and leaders there. For more than 10 years, Limor has been leading teams and organizations of different sizes while building a great culture, innovating, and shipping products. She enjoys helping engineers grow both their technical abilities as well as their communication and collaboration skills. And she has absolutely created and revolutionized our mentorship program. So welcome, Limor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Limor is going to be in conversation with Deb Waters. Deb is a strategic and charismatic technology leader as the head of private bank operations and technology and commercial bank technology for Citi Bank's Institutional Clients Group. I'm so sorry to trip all over that. She is passionate about proactively driving change for inclusion and diversity. So I'll turn the stage over to Limor and Deb. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Meg. As always, it is a pleasure. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Hi, Limor. I'm good, thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And let's get started because we don't have a lot of time and 30 minutes fly by like crazy. So you're obviously at Citibank, the head of operations and technology. But I know that you do have a technology background. So can you please share with us today your career journey and basically how you ended up with the financial services and with your current role?
Happy to. So I have a computer science degree and an MBA. I started my career in aerospace, which was a lot of fun, very, very technical, really interesting work. But several years into that, I decided I wanted to move back to New York City, where my family is from. And that said to me, what should I do? I should do finance. So I joined what is now Citi, but Solomon Smith Barney way back when. And I started as a hands-on developer, and I've worked in numerous roles throughout my career at Citi. I worked in credit risk, I worked in market risk, I worked in mortgage technology, equity technology, and I've always been lucky enough to work for terrific people, to be challenged, and actually to challenge myself. I am currently leading technology and operations for the private bank, and that was an interesting change for me because, as I said, I'm a technology person by background and by heart. So I had quite a lot to learn when I took over operations. And I also have the commercial bank in my portfolio. So I build the technology solutions for these businesses, as well as our research business and our portal infrastructure, which is really exciting because it is a tool that is used across my division. So it allows me to get involved in much broader than my specific business responsibilities.
Absolutely. And can you share, some innovation that you're working on and some project that you're currently working on?
Of course. So what's really fun about my job actually is the diverse nature and complexities of what we actually do. So when you think about private banking, it's banking for individuals, but it's banking for individuals with significant amounts of money, many of them who can actually operate like an institution can operate. So our goal is to make it easy for them to do what they need to do. They will always want a relationship because these are folks that are support teams. So they're bankers, what we call our investment counselors, our financing people. So we're working on a lot of programs that let us improve that communication. We're also looking to build and continue to enhance our experience for our internal teams through digital, especially because, again, these individuals want true service, and we want to make it as easy as possible for our teams to service them. We're also on the commercial banking side working on simplifying how you interact with Citi. Because we are so large and complex, we want to make it a very streamlined approach where you can come in, a single door and go into any room that you would like to actually help serve your business needs. So those are a few of the projects that are really exciting for us right now.
That's very exciting. And tell me, has the pandemic accelerated the growth of digital?
Absolutely. If you think about it, again, not just my business, but any business where consumers have had historically been able to walk into a bank or go to their ATM and do something they wanted to do. Now they've had to drive to a much more digital solution. And that's very logical. It's how they've operated in their day-to-day lives anyway. But what we saw through the pandemic is a significant increase in our web and mobile usage across multiple platforms. We saw, particularly on the private banking side, an increase in remote check deposits, an increase in online trading capabilities, the ability, usage of moving money across the world, because normally they would go into a bank to do some of those things. So the pandemic has truly driven a digital solution across our industry. And historically, we talk about a lot of our clients being older generations, and the next generations already are using digital, but this has driven actually our current clients, who are sometimes in their 70s, to use some of these digital capabilities.
That's wonderful to hear that they have been adopting it. Do you think it's here to stay?
Yes. Yes. Think about how all of us operate in our day-to-day lives. My husband lives by Amazon. If he never had to go into another store again, he wouldn't. But you get online, you order what you need, and it's delivered. And look at all the fintechs that are coming up, and they're challenging around payments and tools like Venmo. So, and when you look at the next generation, my son would never even think to walk into a bank, because everything he's ever used has been serviced digitally. So digital is absolutely here to stay. And what is really interesting, I think, in the financial institutions, especially a company like ours that offers such a diverse set of services, we're actually starting to think, how do you simplify that? How do you make it easily accessible for their clients? And then how do you make it so that they want to leverage this, and that we can not just compete with fintechs, but actually use fintechs as part of our broader offerings? Because what we do is we have the breadth and the historical networks. The fintechs have some really interesting technology solutions. And when you bring that fintech in partnership with a company like ours, there's real power in that. And that's going to continue to drive the digital transformation.
Incredible. And let's talk about diversity and inclusion, because we're all to talk about that. Can you please share with us, I know that you're very passionate about it. Can you share your focus around it and some programs that you have in place to support it?
Absolutely. So first of all, I like to call it inclusion and diversity rather than diversity and inclusion, because I truly believe if we create an inclusive environment, you're going to attract diversity. So that's how we think about it here at Citi. We have a suite of programs that we do. I'm really proud of. We started a Returnship program last year, and we started it in the UK. And we have now branched that program out to 3 other countries. And we're really seeing great success in this. For instance, I have a mentee. She's wonderful. She was an architect. She was out of work for several years raising her children. And now she's come back and she's here at Citi, and she's working on design for us for one of our products in markets. We're also really focused on making sure that our junior diverse talent have opportunities. So we have a terrific program for our AVP and below talent, where we put them into several months of training. We give them a project that they have to create, and they get a lot of opportunities to present that good work to senior managers. We also have a terrific program for our Black and Hispanic talent in the US called Caliber, where we're very focused on helping them grow their careers. We, as we all know, this was a very challenging year in the US, and we created something called Honest Hours, where our senior leadership offered their own personal time for any of our Black talent who wanted to have a conversation and just wanted to share what their feelings are and their concerns. And the thing that I'm most proud of that we're working on right now is around disabilities. We've really done a brilliant job with women. We've really done a great job around our US Black and Hispanic talent. And now we're looking at how do we make it easier for our organization and our teams that have disabilities to grow their careers, actually work really effectively at Citi. And we've done some brilliant things, simple things like trying to get closed caption available on our Zoom, and changing certain signs on our bathrooms for our LGBTQ, but lots of powerful things we're doing to help our diverse talent grow.
That's incredible. We have few questions from the audience. So
Okay.
Ashley asks, do you need strong coding skills to be successful in fintech?
So, you know, you need strong technical, it depends on the role is probably the best answer.
Yeah.
But, you know, even here at Citi, we need strong technical skills. We need people who want to figure out how to solve the business problem and then how to use technology to make that solution simple and easy for our clients. So not every role needs it, but many roles does.
Mm-hmm. And Jacqueline Tisdale asks, will the returnship opportunity launch in the United States?
We are launching it in Tampa just now. So we're just getting started.
Wonderful. And this is in offices or in branches, or is it virtual? I know that a lot of things.
Right now we're still predominantly virtual. So that has also been really exciting this year that we've managed to do so many things even in this virtual environment. But the program for our returnship in the US will be focused on individuals with technology skills like Java, for instance, and they will ultimately be in our Tampa office, but for now they would start when we kick off the program, and it will have significant training as part of this program, mentorship. It will start virtually.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Can you tell us, you mentioned mentorship and you mentioned your mentoring. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I mentor a significant amount of individuals. My admin yells at me all the time about how busy my calendar is. But I truly believe when I think about inclusion and diversity, as a senior leader, my responsibility is to help our teams grow and develop themselves. So I am lucky enough to have a formal mentorship program with my individual from our returnship program, but I also mentor and sponsor, and I think those are two different things, and they're both really important, numerous people. So I mentor lots of folks who come to me and say, I'm thinking about my career, or I have this challenge, can you help me? The other thing I do is sponsor. And all of you, I would suggest you find a sponsor wherever you are, because what a sponsor does for you that a mentor doesn't is that they are talking about you. They're talking about you in a certain forum. When there's a job opportunity that comes up, they say, hey, did you consider Limor for that responsibility? They bring you into a meeting you might not have attended before. They introduce you to somebody who you might not have met if you had not had that mentor, that sponsor. So sponsorship is a really important concept, and most people don't think about it. They think about, I need a mentor, somebody to talk about how I'm doing, where I'm challenged. But what you also need is somebody to talk about what you're great at and where you could continue to be even better.
I absolutely agree with you. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be where I am today without people who supported me. You know, back then I didn't know to call it by name, by sponsors,
Yes.
but really people who supported, who advocated for me and for my career growth. And usually when I mentor, I advise people, you know, to find those people internally that can advocate for them. We have few more questions. A lot of interest about the Returnship program.
Okay.
Yoshi Low, and sorry if I mispronounced the name, where can we apply to Returnship opportunity programs?
So you can apply at Citi at jobs.citi.com, and you can look through there. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can get you to the right folks as well.
Excellent, excellent. And Heather Raybon is asking, are the leaders of diversity diverse from the teams to share with? I'm not sure I understand the questions. Are the leaders of diversity diverse for the teams to share with?
So I'm not 100% sure of the question, but what I will say is that we actually have a pretty diverse set of leaders. My boss has 40% of his team as female, which is pretty powerful.
Pretty amazing.
Yes, last year, our managing director promotions were also 40+% female. So we are absolutely moving the needle. And I truly believe you need to have diversity on a leadership team. My own leadership team has a good amount of diversity, whether it be male, female, different locations, different backgrounds, and other histories. So I find that diversity actually makes us stronger. It allows us to challenge each other. It allows us to truly think about what especially for a company like Citi, who serves so many different types of clients, having an inclusive and diverse leadership team helps me think about what actually my end users, my external clients really need.
Absolutely. Grace Gonzalez is asking, are you planning to return to offices once COVID is gone, or will there be permanent options for virtual?
So our plan is to go back to the office, but we are now working through what that will mean, and we will have some level of flexibility in that, but we do expect people to be back into the office at, multiple days a week.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people kind of, got used to working remote. I mean, I know myself, I've been working from home for so many years. So people are, curious about I know that we have also a lot of jobs remote. So people are always curious about working remotely.
Yes, I think, look, the reality is that COVID has changed so much that we have learned that you can actually operate in a remote environment quite effectively, but there are also things that it's invaluable sitting together with a group and brainstorming, for instance, especially when you're doing technology work, or if you're a new hire, sitting next to somebody who does your job is really an invaluable experience. Plus, it's nice to talk to somebody in person other than my husband, cat, or dog. So it will be nice to be back in the office at some level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I also wanted to talk to you we talked about Returnship. Do you also have internship programs?
We do. We have some amazing internship programs in the technology organization. We have a 10-week summer program that brings you in for the internship, and you are placed on a team. You're doing hands-on development for the summer. You're placed with a leader in the organization who is there to help you. You get a mentor. If you are lucky enough then to get a full-time offer, we have a 2-year rotational program for individuals that are part of this initiative. And they have 2 rotations. They have a 7-week training program at the beginning of the 2-year rotational program. And it's really a terrific learning experience.
That sounds quite incredible. And when do you usually start to interview for the internship?
I'm sorry, say that again.
When do you usually start the interview process?
Oh, the interviews right now, we're close. The candidates will actually start their internship on June 10th. So
Okay.
we normally start our recruiting. It's open probably now for the next summer, because at this point, and some of our next full-time, so you can look again online for jobs.citi.com and you'll be able to see what internship programs we have, and you'll be able to apply formally through there.
Great. And Grace is asking, how did you meet your sponsor and how did he or she become your sponsor?
I am a big believer in making connections casually and having the relationship develop. So for me, it's been doing a really great job at whatever it is your responsibilities entail. And then through that, you meet somebody and you've made a good impression on that individual. And then over time, you can ask that individual to help you from a sponsorship perspective. So for me, I like it to grow organically. There are other ways you can do it. You know, you might go to some event at work and hear somebody speak, or go to a meeting and be really impressed with somebody. Feel free to reach out to that individual. I will tell you, in my experience, most people will be happy to give you time, and you can then share with them your expertise, your experiences, your ambitions, and then you can ask them to help be a sponsor for you. But demonstrating, and when you're thinking about your career, the first thing you need to do is demonstrate your capabilities and how strong you really are and how much you're able to deliver, because that leads you to whatever you want to do next. And then you have to do things like network, and network is a great way, as I was just saying, to find a sponsor. Talk to some of your peers as well. Maybe they can introduce you to somebody they might know.
Yeah, absolutely. I can share that the sponsors I had were people that knew me and knew my capabilities, and definitely it grew organically. As you said, it was not like I picked someone and said, hey, will you be my sponsor? It was some relationship that were built over time. But I think it's really important to make sure that you kind of be your own advocate, right? And
Absolutely.
Not just do the work, but show it to others, make it seen also, which is a lot of times you see that women are lacking that of, not just doing the work, but sharing.
Absolutely. And again, a sponsor is a great person who can help you share that work. Is there a place you can present what you've done? Ask that sponsor to help you find that opportunity. Talk to your boss. I like to tell anybody I mentor that no one is responsible for your career but you. And it is a question on how you ask for that help for your career.
Absolutely. There is one question Yvonne asked about vaccination. Will your employees returning to office be vaccinated?
I think that we have no answers to that at this point. I think not just the US, but the world is struggling with that very complicated question and decision.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, time flies by. We have 5 more minutes for last minute questions. And Debbie, if there is anything else you would like to share with the audience, how they can contact you, or any last word from you?
Well, what I would say is, of course, you can contact me for LinkedIn, but what I want to leave you all with is that you can do whatever it is you want to put your mind to do. I posted on my LinkedIn a couple weeks ago a great quote that said, "I thought I can, so I did." And I want to let you all know that if there's something that you want to challenge yourself with, if you want to take that risk, I think taking risk is one of the greatest ways to advance your career. You be thoughtful about it. And what's the worst thing that can happen? You fail and you pick yourself up and you try next time. So like I said, remind yourself, if you think you can, you should.
Amazing and so inspiring. Thank you so much, Debbie, for being today with us. And Meg, I mean, I'm trying to be very kind of careful of time always. So
absolutely. No, thank you so much for that. That's very helpful. Deb, I want to say thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing your expertise. This was a wonderful chat to get to sit in on. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.